Welcome to another edition of the Taste Media Group Intelligence Series. This afternoon we are joined by Cheryl Delio of Studio DelCorpo. Cheryl, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So as the first fitness professional to join us here on the Taste Media Group Intelligence Series, tell us a little bit about your company and all that you guys have going on.
So I own Studio DelCorpo. It's a personal training studio on Armitage, and we practice our bespoke services there. So bespoke fitness, bespoke performance, which means that everything is custom, fit to your body, fit to your goals, needs, etc.
And I should mention that Cheryl and I were the originators of Armitage being a cool place to have your business. A lot of people have since followed, but we've been there. We're there. You're still there.
And the first fitness studio on Armitage in Lincoln Park.
Yep, for sure.
There.
Many have come and gone, but you're still there.
That's right.
Many kudos to you on your success so far, going on 6 years.
Thank you.
And so just talking about the space that you're in and servicing people, obviously we're getting around the holidays. How can people kind of plan for it? A lot of people will be doing content, New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions. We're getting ahead of it here, trying to tell people what to expect heading into the holidays.
Well, you're on task because I tell all of my clients, start your New Year's resolutions early. Don't wait until January. You can start them in December, right when all the Christmas parties and all that holiday stuff is hitting. And then my main advice is planning and preparation, the 2 Ps. So everybody's busy, put your workouts in your calendar. And then meal prep, that's hands down most important for whatever goals. Like your goals might be different from my goals, but that meal prep is so important.
Awesome, that's great advice there. And as somebody who can speak from personal experience, full disclosure, Cheryl has trained me in the past. You definitely take a really, client-centered focus to people. Making sure that they're checking their weight, their diet, all that stuff. How does this all kind of come together to make sure that people are reaching their optimum fitness?
Yeah, so it is very high touch like that. We offer services where we'll look at MyFitnessPal, monitor everything you eat. You can keep a food journal for us. We'll give you workouts, program design that you can do on your own. We can do a concierge service where you supplement other boutique studio classes with our fitness training services. So it's the whole package.
So in owning your own fitness studio, what's the career path that has taken you to this point? Have you always been in fitness?
I've always been physically active, but I did not set out to have a career in fitness. So I did ballet from when I was really young all the way through college. When running became popular, I became a runner. When group aerobics became popular, I did aerobics. But I was pursuing a master's in art history, which I got, and then was not making any money. Sorry to the school that gave me that. And
I don't think they're sorry, they took the money, but they're okay.
That's true.
They're
That's true. And I had a friend who was a personal trainer, and he worked out with me all the time, and he was like, why don't you pursue fitness? So I went back to school, got some anatomy courses under my belt, and then a few certifications, and then he kind of opened some doors for me to get some jobs in a health club.
What made you want to start your own company, breaking away from being a trainer at another facility?
Well, I had been a trainer and a group exercise instructor for a number of years at another place. And there was a seismic shift in the industry at that time. This was 6 years ago. So it was right at the point where CrossFit was becoming popular. So I love what CrossFit was doing. They were creating this huge community, but there were people that were getting left out of that community. And those were people that would normally not go to a gym. So it would be like special populations, people who might be intimidated by going into a gym space. So I wanted to address that market. And I also really still have the belief that one workout does not fit all. No offense to any of the boutique studios or gyms, because again, I love what they're doing, but that's not our approach. Our approach is everything is custom, one size does not fit all.
So talking about all of the boutiques that are out there, the competitive market space, what has allowed you to survive 6 years? As you just mentioned, it is very competitive out there for not a huge market size, even though it feels like a big market size.
Sure. I think 2 reasons. The number of people that are actually working out is growing, which is great. So that is, all I would say due to those boutique studios. And then just the success of our training style, our trainers, the personal approach and creating this comfortable space where people can get their goals met, meet their needs, get individualized attention, and not kind of get lost in a crowd.
And as somebody who's kind of on the front lines working with people who, like you said, maybe don't feel as comfortable going to a gym, how do you kind of get them acclimated to working out in a very intimate environment and just make sure that they're comfortable with the workout? And how do you kind of just keep them motivated? Because that's something that I think is the hardest part for anybody, especially if they're coming in not being as fit as other people they see in the gym.
Definitely. It's the personalized approach that makes people feel comfortable. I mean, you've been in my space before, so you know what it's like. It's a very intimate setting. It's never overcrowded, and I think that really helps.
So, how do you get people kind of over that hump too? How, in the beginning they might not feel like they're making progress. Like, how do you kind of work that, navigate those?
Little breadcrumbs just to keep people interested, and everybody makes progress in some way. And that's what we really emphasize. Every little bit counts, no matter what you're doing.
And you're in an interesting position too, because it's your name and your brand that's out all over the place there at your location, but you can't service everybody. And so how have you gone about kind of building your company with trainers that you feel comfortable with representing you and all that you stand for?
That's true, because I never wanted to be the face of my brand, and I don't consider myself the face of the brand. I consider the workouts, the customization, the actual face of the brand. In addition to that, I've made it a real point to hire, I'm going to say, smarter trainers than I am. I've also started hiring physical therapists to bridge the gap between physical therapy and personal training. So I am not the best person, quote unquote, there for the job, but we have a lot of other staff who are.
So you mentioned physical therapy for Studio DelCorpo. I understand some of the laws have also recently changed. What are some of those new laws that have been recently enacted, Cheryl?
You no longer need a prescription from your doctor to get physical therapy treatment. So this is great news for everybody, because if you ever have an injury, you can go straight to your favorite physical therapist and be treated. They have to do the paperwork and prove due diligence on their part, et cetera, and will be in contact with your doctor at some point. The great news for Studio DelCorpo is that we have 2 physical therapists on staff under the umbrella of our bespoke performance area, and they can now treat injuries. You will pay out of pocket for that, and then you can send your bill in to be reimbursed by your insurance company. But it's just a huge time saver.
Basically, people are able to come to one place where they can work out and get treatment all under one roof. That's what I'm hearing.
Correct. It's a one-stop shop.
And what are some of your thoughts on the trends going on in the industry? Obviously, the boutique, group training, this is catching on. Is it something that you think is here to stay? Will the trends go back to the big box gyms, or do they kind of serve us a market that's different from yours, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I think they're here to stay. I think it's going to keep exploding the way it has. We've seen a huge shift in people leaving the big box gyms, and then they're coming to us for personal training. They're supplementing those workouts with those classes. So as I mentioned before, we're telling people, okay, you're gonna see me today, tomorrow you're going to go to a running class. The next day after that, you're gonna go to a flexibility training class, whatever that might be, or yoga, whatever. But we want to supplement the workouts of those studios because they are here to stay.
That's really interesting how you kind of have developed your business model around complementing what would be maybe perceived as competitors, but really not at the end of the day if your clients are being able to make progress by doing everything.
Right, and it helps us out too, because then we can say, oh, you're going to this running class. Well, just remember that you have a X herniated disc. So these are the things you should and should not do in the class. So we're really giving them a bespoke experience that they take into those group settings.
That's awesome. And
yeah.
What recommendations would you give to any trainers or those in the physical fitness space who are going to see this video who maybe are thinking about branching out on their own? And what are some of the hurdles that you got to overcome in starting your own business?
Wow. I didn't have many hurdles. It's like, if you want to do it, do it. It's just 100% drive. As you know, you're a business owner. It's just drive and just a positive mental outlook. That's it.
How do you manage actually the operations of your business with actually working one-on-one with clients? Obviously, your attention is being drawn in different directions, but your clients always feel like you're there with them being present in the moment. Do you utilize like certain apps or like workflows online that kind of help you streamline everything, because your operation, it can get busy?
That is true. And I know you've made fun of me in the past about being very old school when I was actually hailing a taxi with my hand, but
Probably deserved it. But
I am old school, so I'm not an app girl. I'm like handwritten. I have a bookkeeper, the good old-fashioned way. I have people that help me out. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then just in terms of fitness space these days, with all the mobile technology that's out there, how do you see people utilizing this? Is it working? Is it something you recommend your clients to do? Or is it kind of like a shiny thing, would you say?
We'll see where the personal training apps go. I think the best ones are the ones that are a supplement to your existing workouts. Like, the fitness trackers that will track your movement, your activity during a class or during a workout. But, remote training alone, I think that's going to still be a work in progress.
So Cheryl, when you're working with clients and you see them kind of have that aha moment, or they're able to get over personal goals, how does it make you feel? Is that where it all makes it worth it?
It definitely makes it worth it. And they always say, you did this for me, but that's not true. The truth is that they did it and I just coached them along.
You don't take any credit?
No,
Okay.
they did the work.
Okay, no, but you're obviously there motivating them along the ways.
Yeah.
You can give yourself a little bit more props than that, but that's really good advice. And then any other advice that you give to people during this time of year? Obviously, especially here in Chicago, it gets cold. Like, what can we do to just stay in shape? Because it's so hard to keep that regimen when it's like it is, it's less than 30 degrees out.
Definitely. The body craves movement. I am a big believer in just move whenever you can. It doesn't have to be you go outside for a long run every day. It can be go in your house and do like squats, push-ups, jumping jacks, and squat jumps. Do a circuit for 10 minutes, you did something, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So chunk it, little chunks.
Little chunks, gotcha, Cheryl. And then any other parting words of advice here as we sign off here on the Taste Media Group Intelligence Series for people there maybe trying to get into the physical fitness training space, or like you said, just trying to plan for the holidays?
It's not, physical fitness is not going anywhere. You only get one body. That's the other thing I tell my clients, so take care of it.
Awesome, Cheryl. Well, we thank you for your time here. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. And join us next week on the Taste Media Group Intelligence Series. We will be back with more interviews. Thank you.